Welcome to Cross Yoga. My name is Ria, and I'm here to guide you through a slow class today, which means time in each posture to really sink in. It doesn't mean that it's necessarily an easy class because you will challenge your strength, but maybe also your patience when we're standing in the different postures. If you have a strap, scarf, anything really can be used. Bring it along. We'll be using it later on. Take a seat and let's begin. Notice the sitting bones on the mat and the tall spine up towards the sky. And maybe you take the back of the head slightly back to get that really elongated spine continuing up through the crown of your head. Shake the shoulders if you feel any tension there that you don't need to have right now. And take a few deep breaths. And I'll begin this class with a short prayer. You can listen to it, you can pray along as you pray along, or something else. I like to let my palms face up, just have that open body gesture. God, I pray that you will be present with your wisdom and your knowledge. Help me to step in to your loving presence, shaking all pride, and egoism, fear and anxious thoughts away. May I stand pure and simple as your child. May I be open to whatever you need to say or share with me today. Amen. Let's gently warm up the spine. You can take a hold of your knees and bring the chin towards the chest and move the spine back. Seated cat-cow. You can connect this with the breath. Move the chest to the front, gaze up, shoulders kind of squeeze the back. And you exhale. When you move back, create length between the shoulder blades. Inhaling as you create length in front of the shoulder. Today's topic I found in Proverbs. Proverbs is a book from the Old Testament, written most likely by King Solomon, which was said to be one of the wisest kings or people in the world. More people have probably added to it. But it is a verse that talks about correction and discipline. When I read it, it spoke to me. So that's why I want to share it. Well, let's move a little bit more. One last inhale and exhale. Even though it's a slow class, I will be having a little bit of flow to begin with. Now move your wrists, maybe your The strap can just be by the side of the mat for now. If you are ready, you can make your way around into tabletop and do side bend motions, just a few of them. So keep the spine straight with the floor and then move from left to right. You can inhale as you move to the side and exhale as you get there to the side. Next time you pass through that tabletop with a long spine, move your hands further to the front, tuck the toes under, downward facing dog. And you can definitely just move your legs one at a time, move your hip. Let's do a vinyasa to warm up. So moving to plank, I'd like to do my knees the first time through, lower down, elbows in, slowly descend down towards the mat. Lift the chest up, incorporating strength in the back. Find it before you move too quickly. Up, using your arms back to downward facing dog. Let's do that one more time. Can be the same kind of slow pace. Doesn't make it easier though. Lower down on toes and knees. Baby cobra lift. Maybe take your hands off to feel the back engage and be active. And then bring your hands down, elbows in, lift up, maybe through your plank into your down dog. A small warming up sequence starting from downward facing dog. So be gentle, we're not completely warmed up yet. Take the right leg up and back. And then move the right knee underneath your belly and the foot to approximately where your right hand is. Twisting. So right hand moves up towards the sky, lowering down the hip to the degree that makes sense. Circle the arm forward down to the inside of the foot. Pivot the back foot for warrior two. So rise up. Bring the arms out to the side, knee over ankle. And breathe. Extend the front leg, let the palms meet on top of your head. Keep the front leg extended and bring the thumbs behind your back, elbows in by the temples to the max you can. Bring your arms up again. You can push the palms towards each other if you want that. And then warrior two again. Bend the front knee, arms out. And push the nose button slightly back so you're not gazing too much forward. Vinyasa. Hands down, heel off, plank. To low plank. Cobra, or you might want to go for your up dog where the heel is off. Downward facing dog. Other side, left leg up. Bend the knee, bring the foot under to the front. Twisting, left hand up. Take a breath. Circle the arm forward. Warrior two, front heel aligned with arch of the back foot. Rise up. And find your nice, comfortable warrior two. Extend the front leg, keep the hip underneath yourself, bring the palms together on top of your head, hands to watch each other as you bring the arms back behind you. Raise the arms. Warrior two, make sure the front knee is steering in the direction of the pinky toe. Option of vinyasa, down to plank. Or your down dog if you prefer. Shoot the shoulders a little bit in front of your fingers as you slowly lower down. Cobra or up dog. Downward facing dog. Just one more time. If you want to use the breath, you might know how I typically do it. Inhale, right leg up. If it doesn't make sense with the breath, don't do it. Exhale, right foot to the front. Inhale, right hand rises. Exhale, turn it to the front, lower it down. Prepare warrior two. Inhale. Rise through the legs, take it slow. Exhale, warrior two. Inhale, extend, palms meet. Exhale, lower down. Hands behind you. Inhale, extend the arms. Exhale, warrior two again. Inhale, move around, long inhale, plank. To low plank, exhale. Cobra or up dog, inhale. Exhale, down dog. Other side, left leg, reach it up and move it to the front. Left arm up towards the sky. And on your exhale, lower the hand down. Inhale, warrior two, prepare. Exhale, get there. Extend, palms meet, inhale. Exhale, lower down the arms. Inhale, reach. Exhale, lower down. Last vinyasa, and then I slow down. Inhale, plank. To low plank. Inhale, cobra or up dog. Downward facing dog, exhale. And then stay in your down dog with knees micro bended or even more bent if you want to. And take a few breaths. Create space between your ears and your arms so you feel the top of the shoulder blades there engage, in between the shoulder blades even. And breathe. Full deep breaths. Notice the sensation if you can lift the tailbone slightly further up towards the sky without moving your legs. And let's move to the front. You can walk or jump or whatever you like. Fold forward. And then rise into your mountain pose, standing at the top of the mat. Close your eyes and take a breath. And then listen here. From the message version. If you love learning, you love the discipline that goes with it. How short-sighted to refuse correction. I'll read it again from this message version. If you love learning, you love the discipline that goes with it. How short-sighted to refuse correction. What does that push? Buttons does it push in your life to hear that? Open your eyes and I'll come back to that verse again. Find a high variation of chair pose. We're going to do eagle pose. So we're going to start in this high chair. Take the right leg and cross it over the left. You can stay here, crossing the whole way around, or wrap the foot around as well. Right leg is on top. Right elbow is at the bottom. Crossing the hands however you can do it. Squeeze the inner thighs. Lean slightly forward as you were in chair pose. And stay here for a few breaths. Feel the discipline of the thighs speaking to you. and release. And we can even stretch the thigh now. Take the strap. We're going to do our dancer with the strap. So take the left foot around the strap. Bring the strap to in your left hand and out to the side, and kind of see if you can make the foot turn around like this. Bring the foot behind you, either with the right hand to the front, or take a hold of the strap. Lean forward. This is important that you have your gaze on the floor. Of course, you can choose the hand variation as well. A few things of correction if you're able to get into this posture. The hips closed. So we want the hips to be somewhat aligned with the floor and the short end of the mat. Lift the knee up and behind you. And breathe. One more. Keep the foot in the strap if you possibly can. And this time, bring the foot to the front. Keep the right hand on the strap to begin, so the left hand on the strap to begin with. And lift the foot up, maybe halfway up. And then take a hold of the strap with your right hand. You might go closer towards the foot. If it's possible to lift the leg higher up, go for that. And then you might want to bring the left hand behind you, so you do a twist motion with the hand up. It's pretty intense. It is for me. I need to focus my gaze. And it's okay to be wobbly. It's okay not to be perfect. Remind yourself of that. One more breath. And slowly lower down. You can leave the strap at the top of the mat. Bring the left foot to the back end of your mat. Both hands on the inside of the front foot. Lower the hip. Maybe your gaze goes up. So you do, in my body, feels like an up dog, but with the right foot at the front. You can use a block underneath your hands. Three-legged dog as the last posture in this sequence. So I'm trying to widen the distance in between my feet. Bring the right foot up and back. Bring the heel towards the buttocks when you're up there with the foot. Open up the hip. And you might focus on where the left foot is. Is it like you were standing in traditional downward facing dog? No hyperextending the knees. And see if you can bring the right heel further towards the buttocks and feel the engagement of the hamstring. One more breath. Release all of that. Bring your foot down. Downward facing dog or child's pose, whatever you want to. Or maybe a vinyasa. Plank if you want that. Lower down. Lift up. Inhale, cobra. Exhale, down dog. One more breath and down dog. Come to the front. Fold forward. Rise up into mountain pose. And maybe you shake things out a little bit because it feels good. This high chair variation, so we can do eagle pose opposite side. So your left foot will wrap around once or twice. Lean forward, bring your shoulders back, and then lift elbow at the bottom and wrap the hands around however you can make it work. Bring the hands away from the face, elbows somewhat away from the belly, shoulders down, and And then breathe. Squeeze everything in. And trust in the process of becoming stronger, more mobile, flexible. One more. And let go. Take a hold of the strap. This time right foot, right hand. If you can get the foot around it. Dancer. So the first time is the foot out and then back. Again, one hand on the strap or two. If you want to go for the variation without a strap, just take a hold of the arch of the foot. Bring the elbows somewhat towards the temples if you're taking a hold of the strap with both hands. And find that limit where you feel like, okay, I am challenging myself, but not so much that I am not able to stay here. I mean, I fall as well, but I try to go to the point where I'm almost falling, but not really doing it. One more breath. And slowly release, bringing the right foot to the front. Take a hold of the strap with the right hand to begin with, just to feel it. You might feel something in your left thigh or outer hip. That's perfectly fine. You can always shake things out if you want to. Wrap the left hand on the strap, right hand out, stay with the gaze in front, or see if the twist is possible for you. Might be easier on one side than the other. Breathe. See if there's more length to be made up towards the sky. One more. And get out of this posture. Right leg to the back. And you might be like, oh, that feels good to go back. Hands on the inside, that upward facing variation. So this is a posture where you're somehow in between a stretch, which is passive and active, because I want to kind of hang in there with my hip, but I need the muscle stability to still be somewhat engaged. Otherwise, I'm not able to really hold myself. Three-legged dog. So move, adjust as you need. Left leg up. Bend the knee. So make sure you're not bringing the knee out to the side like this by the hip. You're actually bringing it outside and away towards the left edge there of the mat. That's the direction. So slightly back. Create the same space in between your arms and ears as you had in your down dog the first time we were there. Micro bend the right knee. And then you can lower down. Find child's pose. Get distance in between your knees. Let the hips sink back towards the heels, forehead on the mat, most likely. And maybe you sigh out. In the EVS version of the Bible, same passage, just different translation, it says, "Whoever loves discipline loves knowledge. But he who hates reproof is stupid. Whoever loves discipline loves knowledge. But he who hates reproof is stupid. Sometimes scriptures in the Bible can be very direct, and actually I like that. So have you ever received kind of corrections or reproof or things like that where you have simply, maybe due to pride, maybe due to low self-esteem, I don't know, not taking it well, not taking it as discipline that you can learn from? Can you come to think of a situation like that? And then think about how you can grow stronger, how you can grow wiser when you receive that discipline. Of course, always set with respect for you. But maybe just think about having that openness that it's okay not to be right the whole time. Slowly rise out of child's pose and do whatever posture you feel like your body is longing for. Just the last couple of fun things. First one is yoga squat, and we can add it into a handstand from that, but yoga squat is the first one. So you can stay on your mat. I'm just showing it on the side here. So I bring my feet out, maybe my toes on the outside of the mat and my hip down. Bring my elbows in to push the knees out and shoulders away from the ears. You will most likely stay higher up with your hip if you have knee issues. Now you can stay here or do twist motions to the left side, right side, all of that. Or if you feel like, yeah, I want to try and handstand, you can go for your crane or crawl, whatever you want to call it, hands down. You're going to bend the elbows and bring the knee, either the kneecap or the whole knee joint on the tricep. So you might want to see this a couple of times if this is completely new to you. So I like my knee cap on the mat there. I'm not looking in, I'm looking to the front, bringing my feet up and maybe trying to see if I can balance. And through practice, you can maybe find this balance at some point. It's okay to come down and up. It's a lot. Remember to breathe. If there's another handstand that you want to practice, go ahead. If you're ready to come out of it, you can slowly release. Come into a mountain pose at the top end of your mat. Bring your feet in and take a breath here. Then come down in a variation of horse stand. So we can do a bird of paradise, or we can do variations thereof. If you have any back issues, you might not do this, shoulder issues, it is a little bit odd posture. You're gonna come down, bend both knees, bring the right hand or arm underneath the right knee. Left arm up, over and behind the shoulder and the spine. See if the hand can reach. I'm going to go pretty low. Tuck the shoulder in. This might be your posture. Maybe just going to go for a binding and a forward fold. That's perfectly fine. Or if you feel adventurous, you can go and see what happens if you can lift up. You can stay with the knee bent, or see if you can find that full variation of Bird of Paradise. I won't stay here for long because I know my shoulders are not really so much into this posture. So you can stay or wrap the arm around the other side. So left hand down and arm around. Rotate the shoulder into its girdle. Lift up. Maybe extend. You might find it easier on one side than the other. When you are done, you can shake it out. If you feel playful and you want to play with that even more, you might pause the screen. Bring the strap and stand up tall. If you have a long strap like me, you might want to fold it. Bring it behind you, pinky finger towards each other. Stand tall as you would in mountain pose. From there, bring the hands away from your spine, your behinds. And just hold it. Avoid hyperextending the elbows. Squeeze the shoulder blades. Strengthening the shoulders with this simple movement. And then release. Keep the strap in your hand and fold forward. And then slowly take a seat. Bring the legs to the front. Now you might be able to reach the foot with your hand, but let's try to use the strap in this seated forward fold variation because that can help us do something else. We can pull maybe a little bit more on the foot to get the calf stretched as well, and it might be nicer for the spine as well. So try to sit as tall as you possibly can. Pull a little bit on the foot without elevating it because then we don't get the stretch as you might want to. And I'm trying to practice not pushing my foot into the strap right here, because that's the tendency the foot want to do. If it really doesn't work, you can come back down on your back and take the foot up towards the sky. Release and use the other foot, and I'm wrapping the strap around the palm because I feel that that's helpful. Trying to relax. And let that go. And then you can move the strap to the side. We're going to stay seated for another posture, stretching the front of the chest. So that can be holding onto the arm, open prayer pose, or that closed one where you have the pinky finger towards the spine. Do that variation that makes sense, and you might choose one and then change it when you feel like you're able to relax a little bit more. We don't want the shoulder girdles to be hanging forward like this, so bring them back. I think there's a verse also reminded me of yoga, and when I teach yoga classes, I have been doing a Pilates training a couple of months back, where I needed corrections in order to become good at the postures that is involved in Pilates. And did I like it? Not really. But I know that it's good for me, so I really want it. And I'm often saying to my students in my classes, give me feedback. I say to teachers, give me feedback, because I want to grow, I want to learn. Not because I love it and like it and it soothes my self-confidence necessarily, but I want to grow. So I want to stay open. And of course, I'm telling that to people that I feel safe with and trust. Let go. Butterfly pose, the sole of the feet together. And in my spiritual life, I try to stay open to what the scriptures, the Bible is telling me. I might not feel that it's comfortable to hear that I'm stupid if I am not receiving corrections, right? That feels like, whoa. But I think in our time and culture, we need to hear that honest, loving, and respectful feedback. So we're not just in those echo chambers with the people that think and feel and believe the exactly same thing as we do. We need to grow. We need to hear things that we don't feel good about, so we can grow and make up our own mind about things. Let's come down on the back for a rest. Just a couple of minutes. Don't skip this part. I know if you're busy, you'll be like, oh, I'm good now. But take a couple of minutes, allow yourself to relax and be open, maybe saying, God, is there anything in my life that needs to be adjusted, that needs to be taking in another direction? Maybe it's just a few degrees, maybe it's really some new path you need to take. So be open for that. God, speak to us. Take the last deep breath. You might open your mouth and sigh out. And you can move and do what you feel like doing. I just want to add one last thing in this, because in order to receive correction and that, we need people to say it. And I think sometimes we're so afraid of giving feedback in respect and humility that we don't say things. And I think we can practice that. might take a seat. Practice giving feedback with respect, not trolling online. Of course not. But yeah, that just popped into my mind. Am I good at giving feedback, or am I a little bit shy? I remember. Food for thought. From my heart to yours, God's peace and blessings on your path. Thank you for joining. Like this video if you liked it. Share it with a friend. Thank you so much.